Everybody, it's Brian, and today I just wanted to do a quick video and a reaction to the Pan American launch from Harley Davidson. So finally, the day we've been waiting for is here. Now, I have owned a KLR 650 in the past. I'm a huge fan of adventure bikes, although I do ride an Ultra. So I was really excited to see this launch. I think at the $19,999 mark, it's not bad. I think it's a competitive price point for Harley to come into. I'm interested to see what the accessories are going to be like for the bike. I think the special makes a lot more sense. I was excited to see that they're adding RDS on both bikes as standard. I think that should be standard across the touring platform. Again, that's just my opinion, but I don't think that you need to necessarily pay that as an upgrade. Just put it in the bike, let me buy it rather than hunt down one with RDS. I like the ride modes. I think that that's something that the touring models could use. And I like the self-leveling. I think that that's a huge thing as well. Now, whether you like the Harley Davidson idea or the idea of Harley Davidson making an adventure bike, I understand, from a pure standpoint, that's not their lane. However, the one thing that I think is interesting is if you look at this as a technology platform, they can build upon this by putting in ride modes and touring bikes. They can experiment and they could see how this builds and helps build a better touring model for Harley Davidson. I'm just looking at my notes here. One thing I was disappointed though, they don't have an adventure style bike in this, so they don't have one with a larger tank. The BMW all-in has a 8.9 gallon tank versus the 5.6 of the Harley Davidson. So that's going to be a little bit of a drawback. I really was hoping that they were going to make that adventure bike to really directly compete with BMW. BMW still has the edge there. The other thing that I think is going to be a huge win for Harley Davidson is the dealer network. So if you're taking this bike out and you're doing adventures and you're going to these odd places, you can generally, at least in America, find a Harley Davidson dealership anywhere. Now the international market, that may be a little different. But one of the reasons that I personally chose a Harley Davidson Ultra Limited is that I can always find a dealer when we're out on the road. So no matter what state we're in or where we're touring, we can always get the bike serviced. And that's something I think for Harley is going to be huge. And for people that are a little on the fence of whether they want an adventure bike, if they have that association with their dealer, I think it's a huge win. There's also not going to be the issue of you're stuck somewhere and you can't find a dealer. So that's a huge win. The one disappointment that I have with this whole launch is we're not going to see the bike in showrooms until May. That's really disappointing to me. This hype has been building for a year now. Let's get the bike out. Let's get the bike into the reviewers of the YouTube community, to the everyday rider. The magazines are probably going to get a hold of it, and that's great. But I want to see it, in the hands of real riders that have no dog in the fight and can really talk about what they think about this motorcycle. I think May's coming in a little too late. I think that the hype should have been there. The bike should have dropped. I should have been able to watch this event. As soon as the event ended, I should be able to get in my car, go to the Harley dealership and check the bike out. I really think that's where they dropped the ball in this event. But obviously time's going to tell. But I really think that when we do these events, we need to see the bikes in the showroom that day so people can come in, put their money down, build the hype. The hype dies. In a month or two, maybe people aren't going to be as excited or remember, why they were excited in the first place about this bike. But I think the tech on this bike is really going to be the selling point for Harley. You figure if you can put this technology in the field in an adventure bike, it's going to be very easy to bring everything on that platform then to the touring side. So again, I thought it was an interesting event. I think this is an interesting market for Harley to get into. I'm excited to get my hands on the bike as a former KLR rider, see what it can do. I'd be very interested to see what you think. Do you think that the dealer network would be something that would sell you on this bike, not sell you on this bike? Do you think as an adventure bike this is too cutting edge? Do you think it's better to go to an old school style like maybe the KLR, even though it has fuel injection now, but without the ride modes? So I'm really interested to see what you think. Please leave a comment, give this video a like if you've enjoyed it. Consider hitting the bell to follow along with all my videos. Thank you for your time. I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. See ya.